Welcome to our first episode of Relationship Wednesdays, and today I'm joined by our guests, Mama Whitney, Serena, and Whitney. My name is Sami Wawero, and I'll be your host. And I'm going to start by asking them to introduce themselves, and we can start with Mama Whitney.
I'm Mama Whitney. My name is Milkah Adhiambo. I'm born again Christian. I go to church in AIC Riruta, and I love the Lord.
Thanks, Mama Whitney. Serena?
My name is Serena Achieng. I'm a 16-year-old girl. I study at Aero Girls in Kisumu. I'm a Christian and I'm born again. Thank you.
Karibu, Whitney.
Yeah, so I'm Whitney Atieno, 18 years of age next month, and I love the Lord, and I'm a member of AIC Riruta. Yeah.
Great. So I'm going to first ask Mama Whitney how life has been during this COVID-19 episode. She can briefly tell us what are the challenges that you've been having.
Life has not been normal as usual because, like in business, the business has gone down. Even the finances have gone down. And the kids are at home. They need food every day and other things they need. And so it has been hard to get money, but we've been managing, and we thank God for that.
Whitney, how has your relationship been with God during this period?
Actually, it's growing stronger, because if it wasn't for God right now, if say Corona was to catch one of us, we would all be in quarantine or hospitalized, or maybe we would be dead. But because God loves us and really adores us, we are still here, we are still alive. No one in our family, actually extended family, is infected with the virus. So I really thank God. I love him so much because he has been with us and protected us through all the way.
That's great. Serena, on the same, what will you say is your relationship with God?
First, I'll thank God for this wonderful day. And I can actually say God has done the marvelous, because in the news you can see people are having a very hard time out there. But as a family, we can say we are not having actually a very hard time. It's difficult, but it's not that hard. We are not that suffering actually. So I thank God, because everything happens for a reason. This pandemic is showing us that we need to turn to God. God has been very good to us. All of us thank him, and I love him so much. Thank you.
Mama Whitney, we have had this COVID-19, and as a result, we have schools not going on, and you've been having the kids at home. How has it been for you?
What I can say, it has not been easy because you need to monitor them. As you can know, teens are very hard to cope with. You need to be there all the times, and you cannot be there all the time because you need to go to work to look for food so that they can eat. So it has been very hard to control them, to make them study all the times. There is television there, so it has been very hard and it has been very challenging, but I've been trying my best.
All right. So other than just studying, do you have any other things that you've been, or rather they've been doing to keep themselves busy?
Yeah, I've been like Whitney. She's been helping me. I'm a tailor. She's been helping me at my shop. I've been teaching her how to make dresses, how to use the machine, the sewing machine, and she's been cooperating well. To Serena, she's been taking care of the kitchen. She's our chef, by the way. She always cooks for us in the morning, in the afternoon, and even at night. So that is what I've been teaching her.
That's great to hear. So basically, what you're saying is that they've started doing some business and earning something.
Yeah, they've been earning something. Even their daddy is making jewelries. He has already teach them to make the jewelries. So after going and sell them, he comes back and give them some money. So they've been busy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great to hear. So maybe Whitney, you can start by telling us how have you been utilizing the time and the money that you've been making?
Yeah, so obviously, as teenagers, I have to use it on. Okay, mostly I prefer it to use it on my clothes and my hair, and also I eat something from the money. So when mom or dad pays me, because I help mom to sew her dresses, I go and buy some materials I have to use on mom's clothes, and also I buy my own clothes because I also have to see something that I had worked for and is with me. Yeah.
Serena, how have you been utilizing on the same?
Actually, it's almost the same thing because we spend half the time with my sister. Because when she goes to buy her clothes, I can stay there, see her do good things, and I'm still there. So we go with her to the shop here at Kangware. We do some shopping because there are some clothes that you can tell your parents to buy for, and she says that those clothes, yani she just refuses to buy you those clothes. You need to fit in the world of teenagers. So I use some money to buy my clothes, some money to do things that my parents can't do for me, like go out with my friends. When my dad gives me money, I go out with my friends because this time you need to utilize it, bond with your friends and have some fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Mama Whitney, I would want to ask you in regards to what has been going on. This prolonged stay at home has not been so successful for some teens, and we know that they've been exposed to early pregnancies. How have you been treating this, or rather handling this with your teenagers?
What I've been doing is to tell them the fact. I don't just tell them don't walk with boys or don't become friends with boys. What I usually tell them, don't sleep with boys. Don't have sex with them, because if you have sex with a boy, you will either get pregnant or you will get sick, or you will just waste your life. And what I've been doing too, I've been telling them example of those who have messed up their life and they've been seeing. So I keep on talking to them and telling them the truth. I've not been hiding anything from them. I just tell them, if you walk with such a boy, if you sleep with him, you will definitely get pregnant. And I also tell them there is time for everything. At this time, they need to wait until they've finished school, they've achieved their goals, so they can get into relationship. And they've been so cooperative, especially Serena. Even if the boys try to mess with her, like the border people, she always comes to me and tell me, Mom, there was somebody, if I pass by, is trying to mess up with me. So I go there and caution the man and even tell him, if you try it again because she's a schoolgirl, I'll just call the cops for you. They've been so cooperative. They've not given me a hard time. So I thank God.
Yes, that's great to hear, Serena. You've been handling the situation very well. So how are you able to overcome this?
The way I go and report them to my mom, it's not easy actually, because when I report them, the next time I pass there, you hear them saying, usisumbu ule msichana atakusema kwa mamake. Yani sometimes it gets to me, but I actually don't care because they don't help me in my life. So I have to do that because I don't want to take advantage of me, because actually those boda guys have a very bad motive towards us. Yeah.
So, and I know it's not just about the boda guys. So basically, I think it's good to take care, and it's good to hear that you're doing so. So let's go to matters of education and ask Whitney, because you are a candidate this year, but now this year has gone. Do you feel wasted?
Actually, I'm not completely wasted. Okay, I'm wasted partly, but it's not entirely. Yeah, the coronavirus came for a reason. Maybe God knew that Whitney somewhere hadn't learned something in Form 3 or wasn't going to do well in this 2020 class. That's why he brought coronavirus. So I used this time to go back to my previous studies in Form 2 and Form 3 and also Form 1, and I review them to make sure that they are in my mind, and make sure that if anyone was to ask me this question, whether I'm asleep or awake, I will answer it lightly without struggling that much. So the year is not completely wasted, though it really feels bad because I had a lot planned for 2021, but I'm going to repeat the same class with the same people. I'll have to do it over again. But anyways, God has a plan for everything.
And Serena, you're in Form 2. How does it feel to go back to Form 2?
Very bad, physically and actually mentally. I'll have to repeat Form 2. Actually, now as I'm in Form 2, some people say that you don't look like you're in school. Imagining repeating Form 2 another year is a very big thing to me, because people will be like, maliza shule? And I actually feel bad, but actually it's okay, because this year I've discovered many things that I didn't know. God had a reason. I have discovered that I have talents that I like. There's this thing called TikTok. You do it, you discover you have talents that you've never discovered. But actually it feels bad. Mentally you'll have matured for a Form 2, and you'll be like seeing, you're too old to be in that class. And spiritually I'm okay. Yeah.
All right. To Mama Whitney. So I think now you're having a more responsible, or rather you have more responsibilities now that the teens are at home. How are you able to ensure that they're studying while they're at home?
I always wake them early in the morning around 3. They study. I buy test papers for them, these revision books. That is how I've been helping them out and encouraging them, telling them, even though the year is lost, keep on studying, so that when you go to another year, you'll just be revising. And they've been cooperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know there are some parents who have had challenges even as they try to teach their children, how to follow the timetables to study and all that. How have you been dealing with them when you notice there's some disobedience?
What I do? If I was supposed to give you some money to buy something, I tell you, if you don't do this, I will not give you the money. It's a way of motivating them. I just tell them, do this, you finish this. After finishing this, just ask me what you want, I will give it to you. So that is what I've been doing to them.
Yeah, that's great. Whitney, how has it been, to study at home in a relationship, in relations to other things that you have to do, like balance the work you're doing and studying?
Okay, it's really hard because, for example, I wake up at that 3 a.m. Okay, I do my chemistry or do my CRE, and then it's like 7, because it's Serena who cooks. I have to make sure that before she cooks, the house is clean. I do the chores, I make the beds and everything, so that when we drink tea, when we take tea, the entire house is clean. Also, I have a tendency of, I really can't study when people are making noise. I really have to have that silence and serenity. But at home, my younger sister will come and she's like, Wito. And I'm like, Samantha, please keep quiet. I can't cope completely. So the only time I get to study peacefully and really get something is in the morning. That's why I wake up at 3, I study 4, 5, up to 6, then I stop at 7. Yeah.
Okay. Serena, maybe you can just briefly tell us what will be your advice for your fellow teens out there.
I'll advise my fellow teens out there to watch out for themselves, to the boys and to the girls, because in this world of today, it's not only to the girls that we have this disadvantage, it's also to the boys. And please obey your parents out there. They always know what's good for you, and always read their Bible. I know teens out there nowadays, being a Christian is not much of a big deal out there. But even though you're not that of a Christian, you don't go to church, please believe in God. And please, only word for you, as my mom says, to all the girls, jichungeni.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. So, Mama Whitney, maybe a word of advice to parents who are raising kids like you. What will you advise them?
Okay, what I should advise the parents is that you need to bond with your kids. You need to make them your friends, not your enemies, so that if there's anything wrong, they are able to tell you what is wrong. Because if you make them your enemies, they will tell their secrets to other people, and you don't know what other people will tell them. They might mislead them in a way. So you need to be friends with your kids. Make them understand. Even if you are telling them the wrong thing, tell them in the right way. Like, for example, dressing code, just tell them, okay, if you dress this way, it will look this way. Not force them, don't dress this way. I've told you don't do this. You know, at this age, they feel they know everything. They feel there's nothing you know. They feel you are old school, but you need to make them know what is right and what is wrong, and give them the reason why you are telling them in a good way, the way they will understand, and the way they will not get mad. And to the parents with girls, just make sure, don't just entertain your girls coming with boys. You don't know the boy where he's coming from. He's telling you he's a friend. Just be strict with your girls. It is good to be strict because you never know. Yeah? And you don't trust them. Even those who are staying with their uncles, you need to tell your girls they should not trust them because you never know. They are the ones who at times are messing up with your kids. So you need to be very careful, parents, with your girls. You need to tell them everything. You need to tell them the truth. Don't tell them not to work with boys. Just tell them having sex is wrong, because if you have sex, you can get pregnant or you can get infected with HIV and other diseases. So what you do, you always don't get tired of telling them. Remind them of the disadvantages of doing that. And definitely, if you put God and you continue praying with them, God will just take over and your kids will be okay. That's all I can advise you for today.
That's great to hear. So you're lucky that you have trained your children and they have been obedient. They have been in the house of the Lord, and we have observed talents in them. And I will want to ask that they can just do one song for us, in conclusion.
If God is for me, who can be against me? If God is with me, who shall I fear? When no one knows me, still his heart adores me. I am saved, I am free, and I am loved. If God is for me, who can be against me? If God is with me, whom shall I fear? When no one knows me, still his heart adores me. I am saved, I am loved, and I am free. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful voices there. And I will want to thank this team because they've been part of our church. Thank you, Mama Whitney. Thank you, Serena and Whitney, for joining us today. We pray that you're going to continue building in your relationship as a family. And I want to thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. You need to subscribe to our channel for more. On Facebook, we are AIC Riruta Local Church, and on YouTube as AIC Riruta. Thank you.